In this video, I'll give you my thoughts as to why South India is better than North India and why South Indians are generally more liked, more preferred, and more welcomed in other countries, especially the West, in comparison to North Indians. Now, I know this is a very controversial statement, and if you're from the North, you'll be like, how dare you? And I wouldn't be surprised if I get called names in the comment section. Yeah, typical Malbari. Yeah, of course, rice bag will. Okay, keeping that aside, what I suggest is consider this more like a debate where I've shared my opinions. And given that you have access to OpenAI or ChatGPT or the internet, take the timestamp and say that this is what you said, this is where you're wrong. So what happens is people are watching this video will read your comments and will either agree or disagree with you. Okay. Now, remember, I'm stating my views, my opinions, and my research. Now, that is one. The second or third thing which I want to tell you is, for those of you who have this habit of, the laziest way is name calling. Oh, rice bag. Oh, Malbari. Oh, this South Indian, whatever. Or, the presumption that, oh, because you're South Indian, obviously you support South Indians. Well, let me tell you, I'm Mangalorean, but I do not like Mangaloreans at all. I'm a Mangalorean. Okay, my mother and stepfather Mangalore. I keep away from Mangaloreans. So explain that. My real father was from Kochi, Kerala. I never met him. I don't remember him. I was raised in Dubai, but I studied in a Keralite school. I had Keralite Malayali friends, and I'm more comfortable with Keralites. Okay. But here's a funny thing, which will prove your logic to be wrong. Even though by my roots, I'm South Indian, my parents, all my relatives, they're settled down in, one is Mumbai, the majority of my relatives. The second majority of my relatives are in places like Jaipur and, where is that, Pune? Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, just because I'm South Indian doesn't mean I only limit myself to South India. I've been to a few places in India, Mumbai, Delhi, Agra, parts of Kerala, parts of Tamil Nadu, Calcutta, where my second wife was from. Okay. So I have a kind of diverse experience. Okay. And my business partners or the people I deal with are predominantly from North India. So let that surprise you. Okay. Now, having said this, I'm going to give you a series of facts. What I want you to do is listen to it and you tell me. You tell me if I'm wrong or right. Okay, you can listen to it at 1.5x speed. So let's start. By the way, before I do go get further, I was speaking to the HR director in Canada. I spoke to a couple of recruiters in Australia and in UK. I know plenty of them in Dubai. And I was also speaking to some businessmen who are based in India. Okay, North Indians. North Indian is in that Mumbai area. And I bounced these points to them and they agreed with it. Okay, so having said that, let's start. So the first point which I shared with them is qualified professionals, engineers, nurses, doctors, professors, and, in terms of science. Why is it mostly that the world prefers these categories from South India and not from North India? Okay, that is the first question. And if you dig deeper, you'd mostly notice UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi, Oman, UK, Canada, America, Germany, France, New Zealand, and parts of Europe, even Russia, they prefer people from South India. Why is that? And where North Indians are concerned, they have always had a bad experience. I'll elaborate on this. Like, for example, the easiest one, just go to YouTube and type out North Indians or colleges or students protests and all that. Most of the fake degrees, most of the people who claim to have a master's in English or they have IELTS, whatever the language course, they are mostly from North India. But here's the strange, funny thing. The degrees are fake. Their qualifications don't match their abilities. And many of them, even though they claim to have masters in English or they get very high marks in the language tests, they cannot speak, they cannot converse, they can't even type a letter. And this is from HR people who are actually decision makers. They have told me this. And I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen some of the videos when they were recording. So, can you explain that? And if you actually see those videos of the Canadian unemployed Indians, the ones who are predominantly having protests, strikes, they are mostly sons and daughters of farmers and people from the north, and they can't speak English properly. In fact, South Indians, even though they have a very deep accent, they can communicate better in English than most of the North Indians. Okay. The other part is, which you have noticed, why is it so many illegal immigrants who are there in the West, especially in America? They are mostly North Indians. They are from the northern states of India. They are from Punjab. They are the guys from, I don't know, North Sikh or Haryana. I'm not too sure. Even Gujarat, majority of them were from Gujarat. Now, these are all North Indian states. Can you tell me why? It's so funny that they are ready to pay double or triple the amount to enter illegally rather than do it legally. And my assumption is, because if they were to do it legally, they have to study. And most of them don't like to study. It's the South Indians who like to study, especially Keralites. And the proof of this is Kerala is considered throughout history to be one of the most literate states in India, with almost 95 or 93%, which is very, very high. So can you explain? I've given you the first series of points. So can you prove me wrong here? Okay. The second one, second bunch of points. While Westerners or foreigners, they watch Bollywood movies like Shah Rukh Khan, Tiger Shroff, Hrithik Roshan, Salman Khan, and they think they look very handsome because obviously they are chiseled, they look very macho. It's very much of Hollywood standards. Even the females, if you see what like Katrina Kaif, there's one name I can get. They are very slender, very slim, very white. If you see their skin, very, very white, straight, long hair. They look like models. They look so gorgeous. They don't look like a normal Indian female. They look like someone you would put in the center fold of maybe Gucci, Armani, or Givenchy brand. Okay. Now let's compare this to South Indian film stars. Mammootty, Mohanlal, Rajnikant, and the guy in Bahubalia and all that. Look at them. They if you compare Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff, Mammootty, Mohanlal doesn't have six-pack abs. They don't have this chest like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They don't have those rippling biceps. Even if they do show, let's say, KKK, the movie RRR, it's very hairy. It's very like raw, traditional. Like when you see a Mammootty, Mohanlal, you'll think of an uncle, auntie, normal people, like even the heroines. I told you Katrina Kaif, she looks so sexy like a centerfold. But if you see a South Indian heroine, she looks with curly hair, she has dark, oily skin, and she wears a sari, and she looks like a very relatable Indian. In fact, the movies, if you were to tell me an Indian movie, Bollywood, I would think of Doom, DOM. All of them are like white and they're in the foreign country, and it's more like wannabe white, wannabe Gora, wannabe Hollywood. But if you check South Indian movies, yes, there are some which are very, very silly. He's sitting on a jeep and the jeep is flying. In fact, our Rajnikant himself, he will 100 bullets. It's kind of funny. Okay, he's a 80-year-old man or whatever. He's bald. He's old. They will make him look like a robo or they'll put a wig. But have you seen how they look? Rajnikant is dark skin, very, very dark skin. That guy in RRR, dark skin. There was one Malayali actor who acted in about an Indian being kidnapped in Saudi. Dark skin. Okay. I've never seen them bleach their skin. I've never seen them have the six-pack abs and look macho. I've never seen the heroines try to look straight hair and look like slim and slender and white skin. Like, have you noticed Shah Rukh Khan starred in Fair and Lovely, that cream? Shah Rukh Khan promoted that. There was also Fair and Lovely and Fair and Handsome. Have you seen South Indians promote all this? Have you seen them act like Tiger Shroff with a helicopter and shooting 100 cars jumping like this? Salman Khan blowing up with a torpedo and all that, and they dressed up more like a modernized version of Hollywood. No, you'll see them wearing a lungi. You'll see them hairy. You'll see them, with a family setting. It's very natural. So that culture itself speaks volumes. In fact, our South Indians are very proud of how Rajnikant looks. He looks like, the respect that they give Amitabh Bachchan, who is a one very rare gem. But rest of all the actors are, I don't know, you don't feel like they're human. Have you ever seen Rajnikant, how he eats, with a banana leaf, or he'll eat even in a newspaper with the people standing next to them? Do you think Salman Khan, Tiger Shroff, and what is that, Hrithik Roshan, they will do like that? Okay, so that's point number 2. Point series of points number 3. While, like we were saying, Indian Western females, they find North Indian men very handsome and sexy. Okay, men, mostly men. Okay, they find them. But marriage, you'll always see a Westerner marrying a South Indian dark skin guy. Dark skin, or like they say, black or whatever. While our North Indians make fun of South Indians, here they are very blacky. Yuck, they look, these girls think that I don't know whether they have a gold vagina or something. Oh, yuck, they're so dark. Well, guess what? So many Russians, so many Eastern Europeans, so many Americans, so many British, they prefer Keralite men, they prefer South Indian men. I even seen one guy, I don't know, he's a scientist. She is from a Chinese or Vietnamese, I think, background. She's educated with Oxford, like very high education. Beautiful female. She got married to a midget of a guy from South India. He's also like equally qualified like her. And she was in love with him. By any standards, he looks horribly ugly and he's short. So why is it Western women prefer to get married to South Indian men? Is it just the exotic, they look dark in color? Or is it because they have family values? In fact, a lot of Western women, blonde and all that, when they are in the north side, they experience a lot of problem. But in South India, they don't. In fact, have you noticed this? When Western tourists, especially females, they come to visit Agra or they come to visit any of the touristy places, like even Mumbai, the gateway of India. Have you noticed? These are facts. These are actual videos where the female was walking, she's blonde and she has glasses, and she obliged one North Indian man for a photograph. Before you know it, one Punjabi guy puts his arm, not even asking, please can I, puts his arm around her and takes a photo. Another guy grabs her and takes his photo. I have even uploaded videos where a female walking with her husband or boyfriend, blonde, this North Indian guy, he's saying, I want to take photo, and is grabbing her hand, is crossing her personal boundaries to take a photo and video with her without taking her permission, without taking an approval. And when they say, sorry, what do you want? No, I want photo with you. And the husband and boyfriend are like, what are you doing? In fact, a very embarrassing one was where a guy, both of them white, I don't know from which country. This one guy, I don't know, that time TikTok was allowed. He's doing a Hindi song that he loves the girl and all that. And he's doing all this action towards that lady. She doesn't understand the language. He's lying on the ground and doing this and doing this. They found it so embarrassing. You'll never see a South Indian do this. I'm not saying they don't feel anything for women, but you'll never see that. So tell me where I'm wrong there. Now, I forgot a very important point. Very, very important point. This movies, talking about movies. Have you also noticed Shah Rukh Khan when he acted in movies where they portrayed him with South Indians? Shah Rukh Khan, anyway, white skin. The South Indians are always dark skin. They always have the exaggerated accent, ayyo, ayyo, and idli sambar jokes, and it's like they are explicitly portraying them as inferior. Do you remember the movie with Amitabh Bachchan, Agnipath? Yes, Agnipath. He's gangster. He's like Scarface. He's like a macho alpha male, dressed up in a white suit and all that. But he's equal hero the second hero, who's Mithun Chakrabarti, who's portraying South Indians. "Ayyo, ayyo, yendu amma, ayyo." You see how they portray South Indians as inferior. Like, just because you're dark skinned, just because you're a guy who is working in the fields and all that. So, do you have to look down on them? Why is this? Explain to me. I seriously want to know. Okay, so this is point 1, 2, and 3. Let's go to the next one. Like I told you, Rajnikant, Mammootty, Mohanlal. That's the actors I get when I think South India. SRK, Salman Khan, Tiger, Hrithik Roshan, six pack abs. You get what I'm saying. Okay. In my personal experience, I have been cheated more and more con men in North India. For some reason, they don't believe in the win-win. They don't believe in a win-win situation. It has to be I win, you lose. Okay? And even after they have I win, you lose, they will still resort to telling lies, exaggerating, bullshitting, and you have to go way beyond to please them. Whether it's, I've told you, I've been to Agra, I've been to Delhi and Mumbai. When you're meeting with all these big shots, you have to give them imported whiskey, you have to give them all imported stuff, alcohol and all that. They will talk all big. They'll want to do business with you. Some of the biggest cheaters I've had in terms of dealing with the business, North Indians, especially people from Delhi. They will take your ideas. I can't remember the name, Futuretronics or Meritronics or some name. He's a CEO of a company for 1 full month. He had given me a confirmed deal on his company letterhead. And he told me he'll make the payment and he'll fly me to Delhi to start the event. Took all the ideas, took everything else. On the day of the flight, I've already made a video, I don't know which one it is. On the day of the flight, he sends his right-hand guy, whatever, to tell me they've cancelled the flight, they've cancelled my contract, and there's no compensation. He took all my ideas, finished. He got himself a cheaper replacement. And he's a millionaire, by the way. He's a millionaire. So I've experienced this with North Indians. When having arguments, even in my comment section, I post so many videos of Indians and some of the problems in India. Malayalis, they'll normally write in Malayalam and, they will give personal insults like, hey, you bald head, hey, you takla face or whatever. That is how a South Indian would insult me. Okay, I'm talking of people from Madras, whether it's Kerala, whether it's, whichever part of South India. North Indians, they will not just insult in terms of the physical aspect. They'll always go to the females in your family, mother, sister, daughter, and this, they'll always speak on the genitals. I don't know why it is that North Indians feel that sense of power, that teri maa ki means your mother's, teri behan ki, your sister's, or teri beti ki. Like, they'll always focus on a genital, and it'll be dirty, filthy, sexual bad words that they use even in day-to-day conversations. I don't know whether it's because of the, I've written down the notes. When North India had the brunt of invasions from Mughals, Persians, Afghans over the centuries, so they are always, very aggressive. They have a very aggressive ethos. While in South India, they had hardly fewer invasions. They had more cooperation. That is why you get the Christian preachers come down to South India. They wanted trade because of the water from all the three sides, agriculture, spices. They wanted to exchange, science-based thoughts, ideas, which has not happened with the people from the north. So maybe, I'm saying maybe it's because of this. Okay. Then this you cannot disagree with me. The Hindutva agenda, the BJP agenda, the RSS agenda, the Bajrang Dal, I call it the Kakasuzu group. This and the Hindi as the national language, this comes from where? It comes all from North India. It doesn't come from South India. In fact, the Hindutva agenda, if you just focus on this, Hindus, which are supposed to be a very peaceful religion, they have become politicized so badly under the leadership of Modi, where it is ours is the true religion against you. We will destroy. They want to destroy the minorities. I have heard so many news, and you have seen it. You can just Google search. The Hindus, they vandalizing a church, they breaking the cross, they force themselves inside where people are praying, and they disturb them. They bring their saffron flags and they shout Jai Shri Ram, and they jump on the top of where the cross is. They break it, or they break the statues, or they go to a mosque and they paint orange, or they stick their god stickers. Even Babri Masjid, where did it happen? All in the north of India. Okay, but in the southern part of India, especially Kerala, if you see, you'll see a Hindu, masjid, a church, a temple, and maybe even a group of communist building. All of them will be together. All of them will be at peace with each other. They will not be. I've never seen in North India where a mosque, a church, temple, all together in peace. You'll never see North India, especially in BJP ruled Gujarat. In Kerala, you'll see a mosque, a church, a temple, and a communist maybe building all together. And when there is a celebration of a Hindu festival or a Muslim festival or a Christian festival, they inform, they take their permission, and they do it peacefully. In fact, I've seen so many videos of a Muslim father allowing his daughter to get married in a Hindu this thing, or a Hindu father allowing Muslims to get married in the temple or in a church, Muslim and Hindu. But I've never heard this in Gujarat. You can tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Why is it this way? Tell me why. Okay. There is more aggressive Hindu, politically charged festivals where it's not only a traffic jam, it's pollution, it's dirt. And after they finish, they just leave everything dirty and manky and damaged. They don't give a damn. They call cow as a god. It's so funny. They call cow as god in North India as a mother. And you'll see the cow god, who's the mother, eating plastic, paper, and sitting next to the sewage. While in Kerala, they eat beef, whether cow, whether whatever. They'll call it God and they'll eat it also, but they take care of it. They give it a good this thing. And here's the hypocrisy of North Indian, especially the cow breeders. They say, no, we only import beef. My dear, the amount of milk that is coming from cows, they keep taking the milk until the cow cannot give milk anymore because they've injected with so many steroids. After that, what do you think they do with that cow? You think they'll just allow it to die? No, they sell that meat, they kill that cow. You are a dumbass, like they say, if you believe that that cow, which costs money, they're just going to let it go. No, it's a business, my dear. Publicly, they might show cow mata, oh, I love my cow mata and all that. Money talks in India. Speaking about business, most of the North Indian businessmen are very successful in India, multi-billions, whatever. Businessmen from North India. But the businessmen from South India are successful globally. They go outside India and they make their mark. And the number of businesses which South Indians have abroad, especially South Indian Muslims and these Arab Muslim countries, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I've seen so many. Where charity is concerned, both of them do charity. The only difference being is Indian Hindus, if they do charity, you have to say Jai Shri Ram or praise their gods. Kerala, if they do charity, they are not interested for you to chant any of their gods' names. They will just give you charity. The only exception being the Sikh community, Punjabis who are in the north, that Golden Temple, they just give anyone and everyone. You don't have to say their god's name. But I guess they're not Hindus, they are the Sikhs. Okay. In terms of religion, yes, there are a lot of complications both on the Hindu side and in the southern side, that I will have to agree. They are very discriminatory and there's a lot of caste system, like girls, if they have their periods, they can't enter. So both of them are kind of the same. I couldn't find any difference there. Literacy, Kerala or the southern states, highest amount of literacy, more emphasis into completing your education and studies. Even though North Indians and South Indians both want to migrate to the West, South Indians, they do it through merit and education. They are very, very patient over there. North Indians are very business minded. In terms of trading, spices, trade, education, cultural exchange, more is happening from the southern part of India, I guess, because of the historical context. Even the transgender community in the north of India is looked upon as untouchables, but in Kerala, it is more accepting. They even have job roles that they offer transgender people. Hospitals, I I had a choice between going North India to South India. North India has some really premier hospital, but South India, they are very caring doctors and nurses, very, very caring. And I preferred going to South India where the love and care was much more than the technology or the superior kind of treatment in North India. Okay. North Indians, they want to push the Hindi language as national, while they look down upon the South Indians. South Indians, which is Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala, they have the Dravidian languages, that is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. North Indians tend to make fun of other languages where they mock their accent. But now there has been a cultural shift because of the Hindi versus, you have to speak Hindi as a national language in Maharashtra, Marathi. Now there have been hooligans in the southern part of India where they say, Kannada, you cannot speak Kannada. That mafia has started. I don't know if this is the same where Kerala is concerned. Kerala, they are more accommodating that way. Um, yeah, the final bit is the politics and taxation. In South India, DMK, Congress, Communist, they are mainly predominantly there. And they do not want to bring the BJP's divide and rule of the Hindutva agenda, even though Modi tried to pose with the Orthodox and Muslim priests. That was all namesake. They are not interested, especially after arresting the nuns by the Bajrang Dal, which is a Hindutva, Hindu-based political RSS-themed group. Vigilantes and terrorist group, as some Western media calls them, which I totally agree. But in South India, they want, even though there are different political groups, they want peace and harmony to be there. Corruption, equally the same. Let's say you can't measure corruption, but in South India, people know if you're corrupt, they pay you the money, but the job gets done. In North India, people know you're corrupt, you pay the money, but the job doesn't get done. And proof of this is the damaged highways, damaged roads, damaged everything, the infrastructure. There's no accountability and you can't touch anyone. In the north of India, if your loyalty is aligned with Modi, like Gautam Adani and the Reliance big boss, you're saved and all favors come to you. In the southern part of India, I've yet to hear of any such story like that. Um, Tax distribution, southern parts of India, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, they contribute more to the national taxes than these other states which are called Bimaru, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. They contribute less, but they demand much more benefits. And they kind of, North Indians, they live in more poverty, they live in more less quality life than compared to South Indians. And finally, last if not the least, when I spoke to a lot of people, for some reason, it seems that even factories and all that, they tend to have problems in southern part of India. But technology companies and multinational companies still prefer South India. Why? Because if there are protests and strikes, they may not come to work. But in north part of India, if there are protests and strikes, they will burn your factory down, they will damage the property, and they will steal. So that has been the feedback I've gotten from other people. So overall, this is the research that I've got. I'll just add one more point before I end. I've noticed one more thing. Indians in general, let's say if they misbehave, South Indians, if they misbehave and they are caught red-handed, they are very pleaser, they will cry and they'll apologize. Okay. North Indians, if they are caught red-handed doing something wrong, it is more like that. You can Google search Bali tourists. They're all North Indians who got caught stealing. Instead of being sorry and ashamed and saying, I apologize. Okay. How much? You don't talk. How much? I'll pay double. I'll pay triple. I have money. They still have that ego, that defensiveness. Like I said, maybe it's because of the historical context of being always an aggressive culture that had, these countries which kind of dominated them. I'll give you the name. Afghan. Where was that? Where is that? Yeah, Afghans, Mughals, Persians. They try to conquer the country, so maybe that is why they're aggressive. I don't know. So overall, this has been my research. I don't know whether you'll agree or disagree with me, but do comment down below and let me know whether you agree or disagree. I would love to have your perspective. And like I said, feel free to prove me wrong. Just take the timestamp and tell me this what you've said is wrong and this is a correction. So having said that, I'll just conclude by saying, for some reason, I don't know why, South India is still a very loving place where Christians, Hindus, Muslims, and people can live together in a common culture where they're not racist towards North Indians. But sadly, our North Indians always have this superior thing. They look down on your dark skin. They say, yuck, he looks so. Even videos have been put there. And they feel because they're Bollywood, the Tiger Shroff or Hrithik Roshan six-pack abs, and they do all this Hollywood kind of themed thing, where the girls like Katrina Kaif are looking sexy and all that. They think they are above the rest, which I don't know. For me, I always prefer South India than North. And if I were to take my family, my wife and my daughter, I'd feel safer for them to be in South India than North India. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. Good, bad, ugly, comment. This is me signing off. Take care.